The statue of Sir Albert Coates speaks to a legacy that towers over both Australia's military and medical history, of a man who served in 2 world wars and whose unceasing work as a surgeon in times of war and peace saved thousands of lives. In between and after the 2 world wars, he became one of Australia's great surgeons and neurologists, with a reputation as a superb educator and teacher. When war broke out in 1914, he enlisted as a medical orderly with the 7th Battalion and set sail for Egypt. By day, he was giving typhoid injections to soldiers. At night, he studied languages, teaching himself German, French, and Arabic. He was aboard the fleet that sailed for Gallipoli in April 1915 and witnessed firsthand the carnage upon Australian soldiers. He served at the Somme as a medical orderly before his language skills were deemed valuable and he was promoted to the Intelligence Division. Coates returned to Australia and returned to study medicine, where he qualified with distinction and became an Australian pioneer in neurosurgery. At the outbreak of World War II, a 45-year-old Albert Coates tried to enlist, but was denied due to his age. But when the war shifted to the Pacific, he was called up, sailing for Singapore in 1941. Having survived the sinking of a hospital ship escaping the Japanese invasion of Singapore, Coates found himself captured along with hundreds of other Australians on the island of Sumatra and transported to a camp in Thailand. He was sent to the Nakhon Pathom camp, where 50 wooden huts had been built to house 10,000 starving sick prisoners of war. For 3 years, Coates worked tirelessly every day with meagre resources to amputate limbs, treat ulcers, and ease the suffering of the starved and exhausted prisoners. Albert Coates became a mentor to his fellow prisoner of war and senior officer Weary Dunlop, who would later deliver a eulogy for Coates, saying, "A man so gifted, so full of spirit and endeavour, and so courageous, and who gave us so much of himself to the public good and our good, that his whole life is on a plane so far above the average man. All in all, I think we can say, there was a man. We may not see his like again." When he returned from the prisoner of war camps, he was 32 kilograms below his normal weight, and facing a backlog of 2,000 patients. Albert Coates returned to work as a surgeon, and continued as a leader in medicine, fighting for recognition and fair pay for nurses, and joining the board of the Fairfield Hospital. In 1955 he was knighted, becoming Sir Albert Coates, and in 1998 the Albert Coates Memorial Trust was formed, sponsoring a range of student awards in Ballarat schools and funding a medical scholarship at the University of Melbourne.